Sky are one of the worst basketball teams I've ever seen. And today, their coach literally just waved the white flag. He quit.
The Chicago Sky aren't just bad, they're historically humiliating. With a 3-9 record and a national TV beatdown by the Phoenix Mercury, this team has become the WNBA's ultimate cautionary tale. Coach Tyler Marsh didn't just wave the white flag. He set it on fire, benching his starters in the third quarter and leaving fans speechless. The Sky were already averaging a league-worst 18.
He literally just said, Phoenix Mercury, destroy us even more than you're destroying us right now. He basically benched all of his starters not long into the third quarter.
9 turnovers per game, but against Phoenix, they cranked it up to 21. This isn't basketball, it's a tragic comedy. The Mercury torched them with 56.5% shooting and 57.1% from beyond the arc. At one point, they led by 25. Marsh looked around like a man preparing to evacuate a sinking ship. Angel Reese, benched. Camila Cardoso, benched. Reason? Marsh claimed preservation on a back-to-back schedule, but the eye test screamed surrender. Sammy Wickham turned Chicago's home court into a 3-point contest, hitting 5 triples in a single quarter. This wasn't a game, it was a live-streamed demolition. Yet somehow in the post-game circus, Angel Reese managed to serve up a TED Talk about staying poised and accountable after scoring 9 points with just 2 rebounds.
Chicago Sky is more like Chicago, why are you on TV? Like, they're an embarrassment, bro. There's a reason why the Indiana...
Meanwhile, Cardoso dropped 17 points on 77. 8% shooting and still got swept under the rug. Reese's post-game monologue about grace, work ethic, and being grateful to play in the WNBA came across less like motivation and more like someone clinging to a motivational poster on a sinking Titanic. She claimed she was taking accountability, but went 0-8 versus the Liberty, shot under 31% in the season, and still spoke like an MVP in exile. Her idea of rebounding? Pad stats off her own bricks. Without those misses, she vanishes. The real tragedy? Watching her try to turn crumbling stats into delusional optimism. Tyler Marsh, brought in from Vegas with a championship pedigree, was supposed to be the answer. Instead, he's now a one-man PR team explaining one disaster after another. The man who was going to unlock Angel's potential now spends more time explaining 22 turnover games than fixing them. His post-game breakdowns are filled with mindful of minutes and preserving bodies.
This is horrible. Chicago Sky is an embarrassment, bro. The WNBA definitely screwed up having this game as a national televised game. They screwed up bad.
But everyone sees the truth. He gave up. Marsh's coaching resume is now 1/3 quarter benching away from becoming a punchline. His feel for in-game strategy is non-existent. Timeout management, flawed. Player development, absent. His biggest mistake, letting Camila Cardoso's talent rot, while Angel Reese turned the offense into a slapstick routine. The body language from the team says it all. Cardoso frustrated, Reese disengaged, Marsh detached. The chemistry is non-existent. At no point does this team resemble a professional unit. Marsh looks more like a substitute teacher babysitting a dysfunctional classroom than a head coach leading a WNBA team. His inability to command respect from the locker room is evident in every timeout, every lineup decision, and every press conference full of vague excuses. How many times can one man say, "We're learning," before someone realizes the syllabus is broken? This Sky team doesn't just lose, they combust. Their 60-point differential through 2 games was historically abysmal. Their defense allows over 94 points per game. They've yet to hold a single opponent under 90.
Wrong. But, like, they could lose this game by 40. Like, I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with this team. Because today it wasn't even,
They're not just losing, they're setting fire to the very concept of competition. The defensive rating is a league-worst 113.6. Opponents are lighting them up like it's a 3-point shootout at All-Star Weekend, hitting 45.1% from deep. Every game is a confidence-boosting scrimmage for the opposition. And the turnovers, catastrophic. The Sky average 18.9 giveaways per game. That's nearly 6 more than what a functional team allows. These aren't just mistakes, they're free gifts wrapped in bows. Marsh often says they're hurting ourselves. Translation: I can't say my players are reckless and clueless on national TV. This team hands out turnovers like party favors and then acts shocked when they're down 25 by halftime.
Problem. But at the end of the day, like,
Camila Cardoso is the one player who consistently delivers, and even she's drowning in the chaos. Her frustration is visible. Watch her body language when Angel Reese decides to freeload on offense, missing layup after layup, while Cardoso hustles in vain. In that Phoenix game, she went 7 of 9 from the field and still got benched. Not because of performance, but because Marsh decided to preserve what little dignity was left. That's where this franchise is now, managing dignity instead of competing. When the coach pulls your most efficient player because your team is getting embarrassed, it's no longer strategy, it's damage control. And let's talk about Angel Reese's role in this mess. Her post-game interviews have morphed into motivational delusions. She praises effort, accountability, and staying strong, all while shooting under 31% and averaging more post-ups than points. Her 28% shooting from within 3 feet of the rim defies logic. This is layup range, empty gym range, and she's bricking them with confidence. Reese's idea of expanding her game is talking about mid-range jumpers while struggling to hit shots toddlers make at recess.
You know, we got a couple players that are banged up, so we want to be mindful of minutes. I think that, you know, when the game got out of hand there midway through the third, for us there's more preservation at that point. Players were all...
Her Bet Sportswoman of the Year comments were the icing on this melted cake. I don't complain, she said, right after another loss, 2 rebounds, and a one-shot performance. Girl, if that's leadership, the WNBA needs a new dictionary. And still, she insists, people would die for this job? Sure. But they'd also probably try hitting a layup, or boxing out, or not turning the ball over 5 times a game. Reese speaks about being a role model, while producing the kind of stat lines that scream G League audition. Meanwhile, Camila Cardoso keeps her head down, plays efficiently, and gets dragged down with the ship. This isn't a team, it's a bad reality show with a basketball subplot. Tyler Marsh is supposed to be the adult in the room, but instead he's just another confused character in this sitcom. His rotations are baffling, his timeouts are mistimed. His offensive sets look like something drawn on a napkin mid-flight.
We got to be healthy and ready to go into that following Tuesday. We got to be mindful of having healthy bodies, so we got to keep it
The players have no structure, no discipline, and clearly, no fear of repercussions. Every loss is followed by a recycled script. We'll learn, we'll grow, we'll stay positive. No, you're just bad. At some point, positivity becomes delusion. And the Chicago Sky crossed that line a long time ago. Reese's college dominance doesn't mean much when you're getting bullied in the paint and turning the ball over like it's your job. The Sky don't just lack experience, they lack awareness. They don't adjust, they don't improve. They just repeat mistakes louder, like screaming defense, makes up for the fact that no one's rotating or contesting shots. They become the league's get-right game. Struggling shooter? Play Chicago. Slumping team? Play Chicago. Need an easy win? Play Chicago. The numbers are laughable. The Sky give up 91-plus points regularly and rarely crack 80 themselves.
Reese got completely exposed today, man. Y'all see how she only took 1 shot today versus the Mercury and only had 2 rebounds? This goes to show she can't get all those rebounds.
They've been outscored by 20-plus in multiple games. They've become background characters in other teams' highlight reels. The Sky aren't building anything. They're surviving, barely. The coaching is uninspired. The players are underperforming. The front office is silent. No trades, no shakeups. Just the same nightmare on loop. This team needs an intervention, not a motivational speech. Marsh talks about mindful minutes, but the only thing he should be mindful of is his job security. At this point, he's less coach and more disaster response team. The Angel Reese experiment isn't working. Her hype machine is running out of gas, and reality is hitting harder than any opponent. Camila Cardoso deserves better. Chicago fans deserve better. Basketball deserves better. The WNBA deserves teams that compete, not implode. Reese's optimism is admirable, but it's disconnected from reality. Talking about improving while regressing doesn't inspire confidence, it inspires memes. Marsh's benching of the starters might have been smart for morale, but it signaled one thing: The season is over. They're waving the white flag with 20 games left. The 2025 Chicago.
You've been completely exposed today, Brick Leg Sloth. Completely. When you ain't taking all these shots and missing all these goddamn layups and shit, you can't get your rebounds.